At the beginning of the film, we are introduced to a killer who has no name. This is because he was an assassin and had many identities. He was never called by one name. He was a very successful killer and very good at his job. He was living in a room in the building opposite a hotel because he had received news that his target was going to be staying there. From there, he had to kill him by firing a sniper. Actually, the killer worked for an organization. Whatever clients came to the organization appointed the killer to kill someone. The killer reached the hotel to finish his target. The killer's hobby was to work while listening to songs. He always used to listen to songs because it helped him focus. He waited for his target to come into the same room for many days. One night, he finally saw his target arrive. The target was a very rich man who had come to the hotel to enjoy himself. He had also brought a prostitute with him. The killer saw him and prepared his sniper. He started listening to songs so that he would not miss his target. He was measuring his heart rate because he believed that if his heart rate was below 60, he would never miss his target. Then he aims at his target and gets a clear shot. But when he shoots, the prostitute suddenly comes in front of him, and the bullet hits her and she dies. Seeing this, the guards of that man come there and take him away with them. Now the hitman packs his bags and starts running away from this building. He sees that the police has arrived all around, looking for him. So he leaves his scooter on the road. Then he goes to the public toilet and shaves, so that he can change his appearance. He throws away all his belongings. And then he goes to the airport. To catch a flight from there, he gets a call from the organization. They tell him that he has made a big mistake. Their client is very angry because he has not killed the target. And now the target is very safe, so it has become very difficult to kill him. The hitman sees a man there, who makes him think that he may also be an assassin like him. And he thinks that he may be keeping an eye on him. When he goes to his hotel room, he sits on the sofa with a knife. Because he was afraid that the assassin would come there to fight him. But nothing like that happens. And the next day he catches a flight and reaches the Dominican Republic, where his house was, and he used to live there in hiding. When he reaches his property, he sees footprints there, which makes him quite surprised. And he realizes that someone must be present here. He immediately pulls out his gun and heads to his house. And he sees that there is a lot of blood spilled in his house. That is, there must have been a fight here. When the accident happened, his girlfriend was present here and he understands that he must have been hurt. He immediately goes to the hospital, where he sees his girlfriend, because she was lying on a stretcher in a wounded condition. His girlfriend's brother is also present there and he tells him that all this happened only because of him. He also tells him that 2 people had come there who had badly beaten his sister and they left from there. They had come there for him, to kill him, but when they did not find him there, they tried to kill his sister. The hitman tells him not to worry, he will keep his sister safe and will never let anything like this happen again. After a while, his girlfriend regains consciousness and tells him everything and tells him that 2 people had come, looking for him. One of them was a man and one was a woman and they were both asking about him. Then she did not tell them anything. After this accident, the police also came here and was asking her everything, because she knew that if she told the police anything, she could get into trouble. The hitman starts to get very angry seeing his condition and now he wants to take revenge on everyone who did this. He immediately goes to his house and digs a hole in the ground. Here, he had hidden his safe. He took out his gun from inside that safe and left. To kill whoever came here to find them, he first went to the airport in the same city so that he could find the taxi driver who had brought them to his house. He sees that green-colored taxis run a lot at the airport, so he goes to the taxi office at night and ties up the manager there by showing him a gun. After that, he starts checking the records in the computer and he comes to know who came there. He also comes to know who the taxi driver was. The next day, he sits in the same taxi driver's taxi and he starts guiding him where to go. He shows him his gun, which makes the driver very scared and he asks him what he wants from him. The killer asks him to tell the description of the people he took that night. The driver tells him that 2 people came in his taxi that night. There was a woman with completely white hair and a boy who was very tall. They both told him the place and he took them there. About an hour later, they ran away from there and their shirts also had blood on them. And after that he took them to the airport and they left from there. When the killer gets this information, he shoots him dead, and in his mind he says that he was taught in training that he should not have mercy on anyone, because if he is going into this work, then there is no scope for mercy. The next day, he goes to New Orleans, where he studied law. He goes inside his storage there and starts looking for some files. After that, he puts a recycling sign on his van, so that people think that he is a garbage man. After that, he takes the disguise of a garbage man and goes into a building and starts following a lady named Andre Dollars in that building. When he approaches Dollars, Dollars gets very scared seeing him and she takes him to her boss's office, who was a very big lawyer. Actually, he used to run the organization and he was the same man for whom the killer used to work, and he used to give him contracts to kill people. The killer asks him why he did this. So Jose says that when his target missed, his client was very angry. Therefore, to balance the scales, he wanted to kill him and he sent his 2 killers to kill him. But unfortunately, he did not meet there, but his girlfriend met them there. The killer ties Jose up and asks him who were the 2 killers who attacked his house. So Jose tells him that he cannot give him this confidential information. He just gets customers and tells them the name of the targets they are, and then it is their job. The killer gets very angry after hearing this and kills him. He puts his body in the dustbin and starts taking it out. And after a while he comes back inside, to kill Dollars. But Dollars begs for her life and tells him that she knows they were both normal. The killer agrees with him and takes him to his house. Where when Dollars checks in her laptop, she tells him the address of those 2 killers. After that, the killer throws her down the stairs, which kills her. So that the police think that this is not a murder, but an accident. After that, the killer reaches the first murderer. He follows his every routine to kill him, and it is revealed that he lives with his friends and also has a pit bull dog, which is very dangerous. He finds him alone one night and decides to go inside and kill him. His dog sees him and starts barking at him, and he feeds him meat with sleeping pills, which makes the dog calm down and lie down. Then the killer goes inside to kill him. But he sees that the man was already sitting ready, that he knew that he would definitely come to kill him. A fight starts between them and they both get badly injured. Then the killer's gun gets caught in his hand and he shoots him dead. Hearing the gunshot, his pit bull wakes up and immediately starts chasing him to bite him. But then the killer comes out of the gate and locks the gate, so that the dog cannot harm him. Then he lights a candle and throws it in the house so that people think that he died due to a fire. Now the murderer was dead, and after that, he started going towards the second murderer. He sees that the murderer is a middle-aged lady and the driver had absolutely said that her hair is completely white. At night when she goes to a restaurant, he sits in front of her and she understands why he came here by seeing him. She tells him that she knows that he will kill her too. So she wants to enjoy her last drink. Then Letty asks him for a drink, but he refuses. She tells him, "We're on the same side. We both are just given a name and address, and we go and kill the man. Have we ever thought that we might be killing an innocent person?" The killer tells her that he doesn't care about the information. He just needs to know the name, and it's his job to kill people. She realizes that he's not going to change his mind, so she takes him outside and tells him to kill her by the river. As she's taking him to the river, her foot slips and she reaches out her hand and asks him to help her up. But then he shoots her, killing her, and we see a knife in her other hand. This means that if the killer had grabbed her hand, she would have killed him. But the killer had killed her first. Then the killer leaves to go to his client, whose name is Cleborne, and he is a very big businessman. When the killer arrives in his city, he starts tracking him down, and one night he sneaks into Cleborne's house. Cleborne sees him and is very scared. He asks the killer who he is and what he wants. The killer tells him that he's here to show him how easy it is to get to him. Then Cleborne realizes that this is the same killer he hired. He tells him that he spoke to Hodges. Hodges said that no one is perfect in their work and that mistakes happen. So if he missed, it's no big deal. He's willing to pay extra money. But Hodges didn't agree and told him that there is no room for error in their work, and if there is a mistake, there will be consequences. The killer asks him if he really doesn't know what happened to him. Cleborne tells him that Hodges only spoke to him that much and he doesn't know why he's here. The killer understands that he really doesn't know anything, so he spares him and tells him that if he finds any evidence against him, he will really come and kill him here. Then the killer leaves, and then the story is shown to us a few months later, where we see the killer and his girlfriend, who are now recovering, and they are both laughing and joking in their own home. And with this, the movie ends.